Yeah, right here, right now, there is no other place you want to be. And we're going to watch the world wake up from history. It's perfect. Don't I pick them? Wow, I should be a DJ. Okay, enough about Jesus Jones. This is MS100. Oh, sorry, no, it's not. It's MS120. We're adding another 20 to it. The extra 20 is for the awesomeness quotient that is going to be going on in this module. Introduction to media history. So you're all here, you're all gripped, you're all sorted. I'm just about to destroy any enthusiasm that you had for this module, but it's all good. So this is just a brief intro into what we'll be doing in this module, and then the next two videos for this week's section I'll be getting into Johannes Gutenberg and the invention of the printing press. Bit of housekeeping to begin with. Much as if you did MS100 with me in semester 1, lectures will be on Canvas, videos. There'll be 2 seminars, just as we did with MS100. I'm going to split them a little different this time. So seminar 1 is going to be what I call the McLuhanist seminar, where we'll get into Marshall McLuhan's notion of the medium is the message again and again and again. And are you getting it yet that the medium here, the message, is just total repetition? So we're going to do that because it's a very important part of this module. Mainly this module is structured on a sort of McLuhanist understanding of what the media is and how the media develops and how the media transforms society at different eras of history. Second seminar will be a mix of things where I'll look at sort of contemporary uses of the media that we're discussing in that week. And I'm going to use it as well to dedicate towards assessments as well. So it'll be a bit more flexible, but it does give us a little bit of scope for assessment, for going over key things that you need to do. The assessments for this module are identical virtually to one another. What used to happen, we used to have an exam for this module, but of course we can't have an exam. I got really lazy and couldn't think of a different thing, so unfortunately you have 2 essays to do. Sorry about that. They are split on different topics. And essay 2, which is on the 7th of May, it's due, so I got you guys an extra week for that. I only had it confirmed today that we're going to be handed in on the 7th of May rather than the 30th of April. There'll be feedback reflection in that as well from the first essay, right? They're both 2,000 words. They're going to be on very different sections of the module, and you know, all the details are in the module handbook with the titles and so on. I'm going to put the titles on Canvas as well, obviously. So, you know, it's fine. It is what it is. Don't worry about it. It'll be fine. It'll be great. You're going to be so good at essays at the end of this. I am really sorry about like the 2 essays, but usually we have 2 different assessments for this, but it's actually quite difficult to assess media history in any other way than through an essay in any case. And it's not like you guys don't need the practice. So we're going to attack this with a verve and a fever that I'm really excited about. I'm excited to be part of this project. I'm excited to be on this journey with you guys, you know, as you discover the history of the topic that you have decided to study and invest your entire future in. It's huge. It's going to be amazing. Everything, of course, is in the module handbook. The module handbook is the Bible. Take up the time this week, please, to read through it and the requirements and what reading you need to do and so on. I do post a lot of reading for this module up on the virtual learning environments. Actually, we had Canvas last year as well, so it's the same kind of thing. So there is a lot of reading up there already, so it's all good. Key points you need to understand for this module. What is the point of this module? Point 1. There is no such thing as a dead medium. The mediums that we'll discuss in this module in some depth, some are still in use, some are not really still in use, and some have been, and all have been transformed by the onset of digital media. Everything has been transformed. We live in a convergent media environment now where things like these can do everything for us. You know, we don't need to have a separate television, cinema, newspapers, radio, etc., because these things do it all for us all at the same time. And therefore, you know, we could be tempted to say, well, these mediums are dead, but they're not. They live on. Media continues to influence other new media long after their use has ended. And media are responsible for social and cultural changes that can never be eradicated. And it's that, my friend, which is the key point of understanding media history. Media, through the ages, changed society and culture in ways which can never be turned back afterwards. And that is the core to this module. We are going to look at these mediums in terms of how they've transformed society, how they have transformed culture. Second major point, media shape our ways of thinking and being in the world. This is 2 points here. Thinking, how we think as human beings, and being, how we actually exist. Media have huge and profound effects on those things, and therefore we need to understand those in turn week on week with the mediums that we're looking at. In terms of media history, Marshall McLuhan, we shape our tools, and thereafter our tools shape us. You know, this guy's so cool, you know, tools everywhere. Tool. McLuhan's argument here is fundamental to understanding this module. Really what we want to get into throughout the 10-11 weeks of this module is how we create mediums, and thereafter the mediums shape us as human beings and shape our societies and so on. This is fundamental to what we're doing over this semester. So, I mean, things for you to think about for the first seminar here. So check this out, I'm asking questions, and I'm going to be asking them in the seminar, people. What does the quote mean? How does it relate to the history of media technologies, and what was human society and culture like before printing, which is the first topic that we're going to get into. So I want you to think about these for the first seminar, right? Now, I do also want to clear something up here. The quote, "We become what we behold, we shape our tools, and then our tools shape us," is actually often attributed to Marshall McLuhan. It does not appear in Understanding Media and in any published work by McLuhan. The quote was actually written by John Culkin, Professor of Communication at Fordham. So the quote is Culkin's. What I argue is the idea is McLuhan's. Culkin was a follower of McLuhan and a friend of his, and Culkin even used that phrase in reference to Marshall McLuhan. So even though, okay, it's not Marshall McLuhan who said it, and if you do say that it was Marshall McLuhan who said it, I'm going to say you're wrong, but it is about McLuhan, it is a summary of McLuhan's work, it is important in terms of who McLuhan was and what he stands for and why he's important to us. The idea presented in that phrase is entirely consistent with McLuhan's thinking on technology in general and how technology shapes society. Right. Are we ready? Are we ready to get into this? I know you're excited. I know, I can feel it. You know, even when I'm recording this in the last days of November and you're watching it at the end of January, I feel what's going on. It curses through me. It's like an energy. So exciting. Let's get into Johannes Gutenberg and the printing press in the next video.